Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Friday, October 12th, third day of CHESHVAN. Here we go. We're continuing on in our medical things and how much of them are allowed to be done on Shabbos. So let's continue. If a person has a nosebleed on Shabbos, using a bunch of tissues on the nose to stop the nosebleed is totally allowed. And even if it were cloth or napkins or towels or whatever, if necessary, and there would be the issue of staining them with blood, that too is allowed to be done if you need to stop a nosebleed. That's okay on Shabbos. For someone to take a retainer in and out of their mouth on Shabbos is totally allowed. That's totally okay. If a person is suffering from rheumatism and they want to, like, let's say, bathe in hot springs, that's not allowed on Shabbos. If a person has a scab from a cut and they just want to pull off the scab, you are allowed to remove a scab. You should try not to cause any bleeding, though, when removing that scab. If a person wants to take sleeping pills on Shabbos, there's a lot of rabbis debate that one, whether it's okay or not okay to take sleeping pills. But if a person is totally weak to the point where they would feel bedridden or would, can't function, then most rabbis would say, well, if you're in that state, then and you need to take a sleeping pill for that, then yeah, you could. If if part of the issue in not falling asleep is that there's noise and you want to just put cotton balls in your ears as earplugs, that's something that you are allowed to do on Shabbos to help you fall asleep. Even pliable earplugs, that kind of when you push them in, they squish around and take shape in your ear. Even those are allowed, if necessary, to stuff into your ear. That's not really a medical question, but anyway, as far as the squishingness of that material, you are allowed to squish them into your ears on Friday night to help you fall asleep. Sore throat. You're not really supposed to take medicines for sore throat. I'm not talking about where you got strep and you need antibiotics, but I mean if your throat hurts a little bit and you want to take a medicine for that, you're not supposed to. If you want to drink hot tea or suck on a candy with the explicit purpose that hopefully it'll help your throat, that you can do. You just can't take a cough medicine. Again, antibiotics would be allowed, but just a cough medicine for the sake of cough, you can't. And please understand, I know that if you got bronchitis and your doctor told you to take a continuing thing to fight your bronchitis, okay, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where you just have a regular plain, my throat hurts, I want to take this medicine, an over-the-counter thing. You're supposed to try to not do that on Shabbos. If you're desperate, for sure, talk to your rabbi. If a person has a splinter can be taken out on Shabbos with your fingers if you want to do it that way, with tweezers if you want to do it that way, even with a needle. A needle is a kli shemalachto le'isser. It's used usually for sewing, but when you want to use a kli shemalachto le'isser, like a hammer or a needle, for a permissible purpose, like getting a splinter out, then you could do it. We all know that when you take out the splinter, some bleeding could happen, but that would be okay. You weren't intending for it and it happened. That's all right. If a person has a sprain, sprained ankle or something with no severe pain, then you don't really have permission to do any medicine or anything. If the pain is severe, then you could take medicine for severe sprain pain, and you can get it massaged if necessary, to help it out with whatever its situation. But that's only if the pain is really bad. If you need to make a temporary splint or something for that sprain, you're allowed to. Just be careful that you're not doing any other malacha by mistake by making that splint. But yeah, the splint alone on its own is something that you could do as long as you're not violating other Shabbos halachas when making that splint. Have a great Shabbos. Log on again after Shabbos for more. Bye-bye.